Remembering one of the greatest singers of all time, Aretha Franklin. She has passed on, but her music lives on. And good evening, everyone. I'm Maurice Dubois.
And I'm Christine Johnson. This now a live look at the Apollo Theater in Harlem, where Franklin performed many times. Crowds have been gathering there since news of the 76-year-old's death broke this morning.
And from Harlem to Hollywood now, where a growing number of flowers and candles memorials are on her star on the Walk of Fame.
The Queen of Soul performed at 3 presidential inaugurations and also for the Pope. And perhaps the only thing more impressive than her singing talent was her role in the civil rights movement. CBS 2's Dick Brennan has more.
She'll forever be known for her classic hits from the late 60s, Respect, A Natural Woman, Chain of Fools. But Aretha Franklin's career spanned more than 50 years of soul, pop, R&B, rock, and of course, from her core, gospel. Born in Memphis in 1942, Aretha Louise Franklin was the daughter of C.L. Franklin, a prominent Detroit Baptist preacher and one of Dr. Martin Luther King's major fundraisers. It was Franklin, a gospel singer himself, who put Aretha in front of a huge congregation when she was a shy 9-year-old.
If I was going to sing, they would have me stand on a little chair.
Franklin taught herself the piano. Then at 14, she recorded her first gospel album and gave birth to a son. 2 years later, she had another son. Franklin's grandmother raised the boys, and the young mother pursued her singing career. Franklin thrived in Detroit and became part of its rich music history. She made more than 50 albums and won 18 Grammy Awards.
You better think about what's trying to do to me.
In 1987, she was the first woman inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And in 2009, she sang at Barack Obama's inauguration. She sang again for the president at the Kennedy Center Honors in 2015. The performance brought Mr. Obama to tears. Respect, of course, was her biggest hit, but it wasn't all hers. Otis Redding wrote it and sang it. Then Franklin recorded it with help from her sister.
We came up with the cliche, "Sock it to me." She became world famous. I was talking about the male-female relationship. The respect part of it became a mantra for the civil rights movement.
Franklin's last public appearance was last November for Elton John's AIDS Foundation Fall Gala. As always, she demanded respect and earned it.
Wow. Across the city, fans are paying tribute and singing her songs.
CBS 2's Jessica Layton joins us live outside the famed Apollo Theater, where Franklin performed, as we said, many times. Jessica?
And Christina Maurice, once again, her name is in lights here at the Apollo Theater. Aretha Franklin had one of those voices that could bring you to tears, but no tears here tonight. This was really a giant celebration of her life in the kind of send-off the Queen of Soul would have adored. Their souls were moved by her songs. And those who say her voice was the soundtrack for their lives remembered Aretha Franklin with this fabulous celebration of her life outside the Apollo Theater in Harlem.
Like a bridge over troubled water.
Crystal Green brought her 6-year-old son here to get a sense of what the Queen of Soul meant to this neighborhood.
I want him to know how strong and powerful she was, coming from the church, singing, never leaving her community.
The moving musical memorial outside the theater that so many consider her home away from home began Thursday morning, the second people received news of her passing.
When I heard it, I just broke down in tears.
Talking about Aretha Franklin. That's all we need to say. One star, once in a lifetime.
Mark Gaines created this larger-than-life sketch of the legendary superstar so fans could express their feelings.
It's a healing piece. They feel so much and so connected to her.
That connection felt from the Franklin Street subway station in Tribeca to her old Upper East Side neighborhood.
She would want us to grieve and moan. She would want us to be celebrating and singing her songs.
New Yorkers clearly know that. And these gatherings outside the Apollo Theater are expected to last throughout the weekend. Funeral arrangements have not been set. We're live in Harlem tonight. Jessica Layton, CBS 2 News.
All right, Jessica, thank you. Celebrities are sharing their tributes tonight. Carole King, who penned the Aretha Franklin classic Natural Woman, tweeted, "What a life, what a legacy. So much love, respect, and gratitude. Rest in peace, Aretha Franklin."
Paul McCartney posted, "Let's all take a moment to give thanks for the beautiful life of Aretha Franklin, the queen of our souls, who inspired us all for many, many years. She will be missed, but the memory of her greatness as a musician and fine human being will live with us forever." Love, Paul.
Yes, and the message here now from Diana Ross. "I'm sitting in prayer for the wonderful golden spirit of Aretha Franklin." And I know, Maurice, that you also have a special memory as well.
Oh, my goodness. 6 years ago, for this icon, for this legend to invite me, along with my wife, to her birthday party was incredibly moving and meaningful. Take a look at the video that I shot there. It's a little shaky because I was a little out of body, if you know what I mean. She commanded the room when she walked in. She said she liked my work, which meant everything. And then she went on to be warm and embracing and funny. She joked right there that it was great to celebrate her 50th. Yeah, it was her 70th. And she said, but she felt like 40. My main takeaway was, wow.
Oh, yeah.
I said it over and over that night, and since then, many, many times. One of those incredibly special New York City nights you just never will ever forget.
So who sings Happy Birthday at an event when it's Aretha Franklin?
We did. We tried. She was like, yeah, it's pretty good.
It's all right.
But the feeling and the sentiment was all there.